Hey there, math folks. Hey, if you're watching this, it's because you weren't in class on the day we did the review over lessons 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. And so we're going to go through those problems that we did as a class together here in this video. It'll probably be longer than 10 minutes, so you can't hold me tight because it's not really a lesson. This is just review. But let's get started. First of all, our first thing here says the supplement of 165 degrees is, now you have to remember what a supplement is. Remember supplementary angles? And supplementary angles have to add up to 180 degrees. That's how we know they're supplementary. Okay, two angles add up to 180 degrees, they are supplementary. And so if we want to find the supplement of 165, well then all we have to do is take 180 and subtract 165. And that would give you 15 degrees. So the supplement of 165 degrees is 15 degrees because 15 plus 165 equals 180. Supplement. Now, this next one, we're looking for the complement of 33. Now, you have to remember that two angles are complementary if they add up to 90 degrees. Okay, that's complementary. So, if that's the case, then if we want to find the complement of 33, all we have to do is subtract 90 minus 33, and that will give us 57 degrees, and that would be the supplement of 33 because 57 plus 33 is 90 complementary angles. Okay, moving on to this next one, we want to find what is the value of x. How much is x? Well, you have to look at the diagram and you go, oh, look at there. There are two angles here. One of them is 120. The other one we don't know, but when you add the two of them together, they make a straight line. And remember, a straight line is 180 degrees. And so if we want to find x, all we have to do is say, oh, well, 180, which is the straight line, minus the 121. I better do it this way. 180 minus 121. And that will be 59 degrees. 59 degrees because 59 plus 121 equals 180. So this angle plus this angle equal 180 degrees. So that one has to be 59 because they are supplementary. All right, moving on to this next one. We see here that we have a 90-degree right angle. How do we know it's a right angle? Because we have this cool square in the corner. And so we know that the entire thing is 90 degrees. And so that means that this angle, which is 72, plus this angle, which we don't know, has to equal 90 degrees. All right, well, 90 minus 72 equals 18. So x has to be 18 degrees because 72 plus 18 equals 90. And they are complementary angles. One is the complement of the other. 72 is the complement of 18. All right, well, let's look at this next angle diagram. Let's see, it says that angle 1 is 113 degrees. Okay, 113 degrees. So how much is the measure of angle 2? Well, if you see that the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2, they create a straight line, and that straight line is 180 degrees. And so, if we subtract 180 minus 113, then we can find out that the measure of angle 2 is 67 degrees because 67 plus 113 is 180 degrees, which is a straight line. They are supplementary. Now, the cool thing is that if the measure of angle 2 is 67 degrees, then the measure of angle 4 also has to be 67 degrees because those two angles are vertical angles. They are opposite from each other on an intersection. And of course, if that's the case, then the measure of angle 3 also has to be 113 degrees because angle 1 and angle 3 are also vertical angles. So that's pretty darn easy. Vertical angles, you gotta love them. Oh my gosh, what have we got here? We have a diagram, looks like we have some street names, and oh, look here, we've got a right angle. That's a great place to start. We also have 58 degrees here, so we know information there. Now let's take a look at a couple of things first. If this angle is 90 degrees, this one also has to be 90 degrees because they are vertical angles. So 90 degrees over here, 90 degrees over here. And then if you look closely, we have a straight line right here. And that straight line means that's 180 degrees, right? And a straight line is 180 degrees. And if this is 90 here, then that means that this is 90 over here. And that means that 58 plus whichever this one is have to add up to 90 degrees because these two angles together are complementary to each other. So if this total is 90 and that's 58, then 90 minus 58 will give us the missing angle measure. So looks like that will be 32 degrees. All right. Now, the great thing about that is if this one's 32 degrees, this one also has to be 32 because they are vertical angles to each other, and vertical angles have the same measure. And if you look even closer, this angle here that measured 58 degrees is a vertical angle to this one over here. If that's 58, then this one has to be 58 degrees. Vertical angles, wonderful things. Okay? All right, moving on. Now we're getting a little more complicated. What we have here are two angles that add up to a straight line, right? This one plus this one equal 180 degrees because they create a straight line. And so that means if we add 139 degrees plus 3x plus 14, that should equal 180 degrees. And then we combine our like terms, 139 and 14. 139 plus 14 plus 3x equals 180. Okay, as you can see, all I did was combine my like terms. Now 139 plus 14, that is what? 153 plus 3x equals 180. All right. Now I've got a two-step equation. I'll use SADMEP, and I'm going to subtract 153 from both sides. And when I do, I get 3x equals, how much is 180 minus 153? Looks like 27. And then the next step, I divide both sides by the 3 because that's the coefficient of x. And x equals 9. 9. And that should work because if we put 9 back in for x here, 3 times 9 plus 14. How much is that? Well, that's 27 plus 14. And that is 11, 2, 3, 4, 41. And if this is 41 degrees, then 139 plus 41 had better equal 180, because they have to create that straight line. They are supplementary. Very good. All right, and now we have, see that right angle? That right angle means that these two angles, 26 degrees and x over 3 plus 4, should add up to be 90 because they are complementary. And complementary means that they have to add up to 90. So 26 degrees plus x over 3 plus 4 has to equal 90. Combine our like terms. I'm going to combine my constants. 26 plus 4 plus x over 3 equals 90. 26 plus 4 is 30, plus x over 3 equals 90. All right, now I don't get to see these kind of equations very often, but remember, we're still going to get rid of the constant first. So we're going to subtract 30 from both sides of our equation. And x over 3 equals 90 minus 30 is 60. Okay, and then, oops, I almost forgot my equation line, right? Okay, so x over 3 equals 60. Now, here we do the opposite of what we see. This is x divided by 3. What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. X equals 60 times 3 is 180. So x equals 180. You're like, wait a minute, 180, that's more than 90. Well, that's okay, because that's what x is. So if we put that 180 back in for x, that would be 180 over 3 plus 4. Now, what is 180 divided by 3? Well, that's 60. 60 plus 4 is 64. So this would be 64 degrees over here. And 26 plus 64 had better equal 90. 26, 64, yep, 90. So x is 180, and this missing angle here was 64. Excellent. All right, moving on to our next question here. Oh, this is good. I like this. I like this one. Here we have vertical angles. We have this angle here is 38, and this angle here is 5x minus 2. And because they are vertical angles, that means that their measures are equal. Okay, their measures are equal. So that means that 38 is equal to 5x minus 2. Let's find out what x is. First thing we're going to do, according to SADMAP, is get rid of the constant. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Oops, use my equation line. 38 plus 2 is 40. 5x equals 40. Now I'm going to divide by the coefficient. And x is equal to 40 divided by 5, which is 8. So x equals 8. So what is the measure of angle KOL? Oh, well, that's easy enough. Angle KOL is this one right here. And if you look, here we have a straight line, right? That's a straight line, so that means that that has to equal 180 degrees. And if this one is 38, and we've got 180 here, then I should be able to do 180 minus 38 to find the measure of angle KOL. And that would be 142. 142 degrees. Perfect. Ooh, triangles. Oh, remember, we love triangles. Finding the measure of the third angle in a triangle. Please remember that with triangles, in this case, with triangle X, Y, Z, all three angles have to add up to 180 degrees. We learned this. So that means that the measure of angle X plus the measure of angle Y plus the measure of angle Z has to equal 180. We know that the measure of angle X is 114. The measure of angle Y we don't know, but we know the measure of angle Z is 39, and they have to equal 180. Combine our like terms, 114 and 39. 114 plus 39 plus the measure of angle Y equals 180. How much is 114 plus 39? Well, let's see, 114 plus 39, that's 13, carry the 1, that's 5, and that's 1. So that's 153. 153 plus the measure of angle Y equals 180. Almost forgot my equation line again. I'm going to subtract 153 from both sides. Those two cancel out, leaving me the measure of angle Y equaling, let's see, 10 minus 3 is 7, and that's 2. And so the measure of angle Y is 27 degrees. Easy peasy. And let's take a look at this question here. Remember, all three angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So that means that 49 degrees plus 52 degrees plus negative 5 plus 6x has to equal 180. So let's see here. We're going to rewrite this. This will be 49 plus 52 plus negative 5. That's the same thing as minus 5 plus 6x equals 180. Because when we add a negative, that's the same thing as subtracting. Adding a negative is the same thing as subtracting. Now I'm going to combine all my like terms, 49, 52, and negative 5. So let's see here. 49 and 52. 9 plus 2 is 11. 9, 10, so that's 101. Minus 5 plus 6x equals 180. Now we do 101 minus 5 is 96 plus 6x equals 180. Don't let me forget my equation line. I'm going to subtract 96 from both sides, and I get 6x equals, let's see, do my math here, that's 4, 17 minus 9 is 8, 84. I divide both sides by 6, and x equals 84 divided by 6 is how much? 6 goes into 84 14 times. Is that correct? Let's find out. 14 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2. Yep, 84. So x is 14. Now, if that's correct, then if we put this 14 back in for x here, that should equal the missing amount. So, let's see, negative 5 plus 6 times 14 equals what? 6 times 14 is 84. Negative 5 plus 84 equals 79. Now that means that this missing angle up here should be 79 degrees. And if that's the case, then that means that 79 plus 49 plus 52 should equal 180. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 2 is 20, carry the 2. 2 plus 7 is 9, plus 4 is 13, plus 5 is 180. So yes, we are absolutely right. X is 14, and the measure of that angle is 79 degrees. That's all there is for the review of lessons 1 through 3. Have a great day. Don't forget to be awesome, and we will see you next time.